What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So as y'all know, I have been playing older games like Dirt 2, Need for Speed Shift. I've also been playing Midnight Club Los Angeles, some Pro Street, and some other games are planned, which I am going to be making videos on. But revisiting Dirt 2 and playing through this game a bit, guys, it really has brought so many memories. And I wanted to go through certain classes that I really enjoyed that this game still hits even better than the new one. So in this, I am going to be talking about Rallycross. I would say we can probably all agree that basically every single Dirt game, like Dirt 3 for example, which I am going to be doing videos on that as well, but we also have Dirt 4 and Dirt 5. We can all agree that most of the Dirt games do tend to have something along the lines of Rallycross. I mean, that does tend to be kind of a big focus on it. Like in Dirt 5, I was trying to do some of the Rallycross events. I was messing around a bit, but even playing in that game, guys, and doing those, I still enjoyed the ones in Dirt 2 more. This is going to come down to a couple of different reasons. For one, I do like how hectic the events are. You're pretty much going to jump in there. Cars are going to be crashing into each other. You're going to have really tight courses on really fun tracks, which, you know what? Speaking of that, I feel like that might be a big reason why I'm such a fan of the ones in Dirt 2. Maybe it's not going to be along the lines of probably crashing into each other because pretty much any game like that, like for example in Dirt 5 again, you'll easily crash into other racers and stuff, maybe not as much. Maybe the other AI won't be as aggressive as they were in Dirt 2 and stuff, but in this though specifically, I feel like part of it is going to be the map or the race layouts probably play a massive role in the way these races do feel. Like for example, you're going to be going over jumps, some tight corners. It really is going to be fun, tight, pretty much technical sections around the entire events I was doing. There isn't going to be a ton of races, but you can also do like free race and all that, jump into different tracks and stuff that you might normally not be able to really do or something in the main events in the game, which you guys will see in the background. I am going to be driving the Subaru, which is probably going to be looking really messed up because I was basically crashing back and forth. I was sliding a bit and I was going to restart and try to do a clean race. And I'm like, you know what, bro? This is a rallycross event. My car is most likely going to get wrecked anyway. So, yeah, let's just keep going and see what I can do. Let's keep racing. And even though my car was still messed up, I was still having a great time. I would probably say in some other games, if you wreck it a lot, then it might affect the vehicle in some way, or at least you think it would. But I would say overall the car was driving decently. I didn't destroy it, but it definitely wasn't going to be in the best shape, which I would probably say you can tell by looking at the background footage. But with that, though, I would say the Subaru for me, when I was using it in the Rallycross category, guys, we all do know for a fact that thinking of Rallycross or Rally, you're most likely going to think of Subaru, right? Like, if I was out somewhere talking to somebody about Rallycross vehicles, what's the first thing, if you mention it, what is a car they'd probably think off right on the top of their head? It's probably going to be Subaru. So I did probably assume that the lovely Subaru was going to be one of the better options to run and stuff. And I was like, okay, well, you know what? Let me jump into the Subaru, try it out. I would say the hatchback is decent. Funny part is, though, I was also doing a nighttime event in the lovely Subaru, which is going to be the four-door sedan version, which is pretty much the same as the hatch, just, you know, a little bit different. I kind of like the way this car handled a bit more when I was messing with this, with the Rallycross category. I did want to try to use some of the cars and use some cars that not everybody would use. I kind of assume that the hatchback is going to be the type of car that you look at and go, yeah, everybody's probably going to use it. It has like the best stats or the most speed and stuff. Kind of similar to like the other classes, which we could probably agree with maybe Trailblazer, even regular Rally and stuff. You're probably going to notice that, yeah, the hatchback Subaru is legit that great. But I was like, all right, well, if that car is that good, let me try out some other ones in the sedan WRX, which I think is actually probably the first car most players might end up starting out with. I think even in Rally, this was going to be the first car you used in Rallycross. It's probably very similar. You can upgrade it, add like the Rallycross package for a small price. So yeah, a lot of players are probably going to be fairly used to this car, but you can basically max it and use this car the entire time in the game if you want. It is easily quick enough. So I would say looking at the stats of some of the vehicles might not make the most sense. Like, yeah, they're going to be really faster. Oh, look, the acceleration's all the way up on this car. This can go for a lot of games, right? A lot of players might look at certain cars in the game and go, okay, well, the acceleration is the highest on this. It isn't going to have the best top speed. Then maybe the overall handling isn't that great. Then you're also then going to find another car that the acceleration is a tad lower, maybe the top speed's a little bit higher, and then maybe the overall handling's a tad better. You might even be faster in that car because you can drive it better and stuff. And I feel like that was something I was really thinking about a lot when playing Dirt 2. I was looking at different vehicles, trying to mess around with them, try them out. And I would say you probably could run a lot of different vehicles in these games, even though you might not be setting world records with them. At least you can still win races and have a great time when you are running them. Now, one thing I was also talking about in the trophy truck slash buggy video was I really like the way the vehicles in Dirt 2 handled, even compared to the newer Dirt games, which is honestly so dang weird. We all do know having like a Rallycross vehicle category or having these type of cars in these games are probably going to be the most obvious thing ever. I mean, it's a Dirt game, right? They're probably going to focus on rally, probably Rallycross a lot. But why is it when playing Dirt 2 though, the Rallycross racing is so much more fun than Dirt 5 or even Dirt 4, which I would say Dirt 4 kind of focused on the main rally parts. It kind of got rid of a lot of the other things in there, even though I would say those games probably threw them in there to have like the entire Dirt series thing kind of alive still. For example, like the little buggies or the one trophy truck or something like that. No main big Doom buggies. But if we're looking at something like Rallycross though, guys, if you were to play something like Dirt 5, which I did end up doing this, I played Dirt 5 for a bit, I then jumped back onto Dirt 2, and I was like, nah, man, look, it ain't even close. It's so weird. Like, the racing in Dirt 2 just feels so much more better. I don't know if I'm tripping out. Maybe it's like a nostalgic thing hitting me. Maybe it's like a blinder. I don't know. But when I was racing in Dirt 2, though, I still feel like this is probably going to be, you know what, I'm going to say it. This honestly might be one of the peaks of the entire series out of every single Dirt game. I don't know what it is, but Dirt 2 just really hits in every single area, man. Now, there's a few things I was noticing about playing Dirt 2, again, that some people can probably argue that they might not be the biggest fan of, and honestly, I could probably see it. For example, on a few of the vehicles you might run, they might end up sliding a bit, or maybe they're going to feel kind of unstable in the Rallycross category. I would say you could probably argue that with some of the cars, but then again, though, it's probably going to come down to their stats. Maybe you can tune them slightly, maybe make them a little bit better. One of the things I was noticing, and this can probably be shown in something that some cars might be better than you think they might end up being. What I do mean by this, guys, is back in the day when I was playing Dirt 2, the car you're going to see in the background of this clip is the Pontiac. I never used this car back then, guys. I always ran the Subarus. I've always been a big fan of the Rally Subarus, so I was like, all right, well, I'm only going to use these. Basically, every other car is terrible, kind of like what I did say earlier. But I was using something like the Pontiac, and I was having a great time with it. It's quick, it jumps really fast, and I would say the overall handling and stability on it seems to be very stable, even compared to the hatchback Subaru. And this will most likely end up falling into the category of, okay, well, maybe if this car is not going to have the best stats, let me try it. It could still be pretty dang good. And that was something I really was noticing a lot playing Dirt 2. I was jumping back into this, guys. Again, I was playing Dirt 5 a bit. I even played Dirt 4. And I was like, okay, now let me go play Dirt 2. I don't know what it is, man, but the feeling of racing in Dirt 2, I did mention this in the buggy video. There's just something about the racing in this game. They captured it to a T, man. It is so dang good. It's so much fun to play. I feel like every class really feels different. You can feel like the weight of the vehicles and stuff. The rally cars are going to feel kind of feisty in some way. You can turn them really sharp, slam the e-brake down, go around a really tight corner, jump over something, slide around another corner, run into another racer or something. And who knows, maybe part of this might end up coming down to the fact of the AI being really good, because they'll run into you or like battle you and stuff. You're not just going to basically pass them mindlessly and then they're going to be way back there. No, in Dirt 2, they legit mess with you, and even on the higher difficulties, man, they are always with you the entire time. Like in the clips you guys will see, I'm battling the racers in first. It is actually really fun because it doesn't feel like you're going to be completely owning it. Now, sure, you could probably lower the difficulty. It might get a lot easier, but raising the difficulty, guys, makes it so much more entertaining. They're always going to be with you. If you mess up somewhere, you probably have to use like an instant restart or something like that, because they are basically going to be right with you, past you, and then they're probably going to be so far ahead that you're most likely going to be doomed. So I think the AI does play a part. It is most likely going to be that good in Dirt 2. And on top of it, as I did mention earlier, I feel like a big part of this is probably going to be the overall track design, which for some odd reason I think Dirt 5 honestly really failed on, man. Whether it's going to be the rally or the rally raid type of vehicles in that game, or like the raid ones, I feel like they really missed the mark on most of the events in that game with the way the tracks are designed. When I was going back into Dirt 2 using Rallycross, Rally, Trailblazer, I love the way each track made me feel. It was so entertaining going around different turns and stuff in Rallycross, hitting jumps and like that, and then going around tight corners. It was so dang entertaining. Then fast forwarding over to like a Doom Buggy or a Trophy Truck, you go over jumps, different corners and stuff like that, like kind of terrain you'd see in something like that, and is really going to make the game feel that much different because you're not on like the same track, or you're not going over the same track with every single vehicle class, you know what I mean? They're all going to feel unique to the class that you are running, making the entire experience that much better. Now, I am curious to know what y'all think about the Rallycross cars in Dirt 2, and also in the entire Dirt franchise in general. Which game do you guys think did it the best? I'm probably going to take a guess right now and say many people are probably going to agree that Dirt 2 really did hit the mark in so many different areas. I've been seeing it on a bunch of different forums. Everybody does seem to agree that even to this day, guys, almost 16 years later, Dirt 2 is still one of the best games in the franchise. And if not in some ways, it could even still be the best game out there. But again, let me know your thoughts on Rallycross and the Dirt franchise in general. And that's probably the craziest part to me. Being honest, jumping back into Dirt 2, going back to Dirt 4, playing Dirt 5 and stuff, there's just something so dang special about Dirt 2. I would say people will be like, I can't put my finger on it. But to be honest, I probably can. It's going to be the overall gameplay, atmosphere, the design. It really does so many things that great, including Rallycross.